here. It is time for the great one, the YouTube People's Champ. Oh, to do another reaction, baby. J-Rocc says this: people have had a lot to say about the reign of Cody Rhodes. Well, now, finally, it's time to hear what J-Rocc has to say.
J-Rocc has come back to YouTube.
What is happening in with the millions? Oh, the millions of J-Rocc fans from all over the world. That's right, baby. J-Rocc is here. Let's talk just for a minute about the reign of the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. People have had a lot to say about the reign of Cody Rhodes, and it doesn't surprise me one bit that people are saying what they're saying, because if you've been a fan of professional wrestling and sports entertainment as long as J-Rocc, then you understand that this is normal. Before we get into it, let's take a listen to some things some people had to say about Cody Rhodes.
You had a whole 4 fucking months to do something. To get you had no big fish of Roman Reigns. You were by yourself. You could have done something. You could have elevated yourself to that status. Roman Reigns did, but Cody Rhodes did not. He rested on his laurels. He went out there. So what do you guys want to talk about? Day in and day out. He had 3 matches with AJ Styles. Where's AJ now? Fuck if I know. And now we have him on SmackDown giving Kevin Owens his best friend a title. Hey, you my best friend? Are you my best friend?
I'm your best friend.
You my best friend?
I'm your best friend.
You want a title match?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
What happened?
I don't know.
What happened?
I don't think I earned it.
But Roman Reigns didn't earn it.
I took so many L's.
Yeah, but Roman Reigns didn't earn it, and he gets a championship match.
Stop.
But you're my best friend, though.
I'm your best friend.
So you want to play? Come on. Please?
Okay.
Okay, I see you at Fashion Berlin. What the fuck is that?
That's not how it went. Now you guys.
Fuck are we doing here?
You guys are.
J-Rocc said that's just one of 2 videos we're going to check out, but let me allow J-Rocc to respond to this video right here. This is the problem that has always existed in professional wrestling. Because professional wrestling fans are a microcosm of what's happening in society. Think about this for 1 second. 90 to 95% of Americans do not know what it feels like to consistently win in life. Yeah, every once in a while we get our W. Sometimes we get the promotion. Sometimes we get the big pay raise. Sometimes we get the girl we wanted. Sometimes we get the dream house. Sometimes we drive the dream car, live in the dream house. Okay, we have the dream job. We achieve our goals and dreams. But for the majority of us, let's just be real here. Most of us don't know what it feels like to win consistently. And the problem you have when you have baby faces, good guys in the WWE who constantly win, we, the 90 to 95% of us, cannot relate to that. It's not something we understand. There's only 3 to 5% of us who can understand what it feels like to consistently win, to consistently overcome, to consistently achieve goals, to get knocked down but get right back up. Only a few of us know, only a small percentage of us know what that feels like. And those of us who do that are the ones who are creating jobs and opportunities for the rest of America. Many of us don't know what that feels like. And so when you have a guy in Cody Rhodes who is on the journey of trying to dethrone one of the greatest professional wrestlers and greatest title reigns in sports and entertainment history, we're riding with him. We're right there with you. We're lockstep. We want Cody. They didn't want The Rock to be the one to take the title off Roman Reigns or even have the chance to. Damn it, we wanted Cody. People wanted Cody so bad they booed The Rock. That's how bad folks wanted it. But the problem, which is why heels always have longer title reigns than babyfaces, is because heels aren't trying to relate to us. They relate to the small percentage of us who win by any means necessary. And I'd be lying to say some of us don't cheat from time to time in order to achieve our goals. Lie, cheat, steal, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. We know what it feels like, but the rest of us have no clue. That's why we boo them. But that's why their title reigns last longer, because people will pay to see the bad guy lose. More than they will pay to see the good guy win. I'm sorry, that's just how it's been in sports since I can remember. When wrestling became mainstream, when it became episodic weekly, and you had monthly pay-per-views, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. They had to keep coming up with new storylines. And baby faces don't have long title reigns. If they do, they end up like John Cena. Y'all remember the Doctor of Thugonomics? You feel me? Thug life. This is basic thugonomics. Chain gang, homie. C-Nation. We was right there with John. He was representing us. He's from the streets. Well, he's from West Newbury, Massachusetts. But still, he bust the flow and we were like, okay, John, we see you. John was like, no, you can't. But we see you. And then John became the representative of the working class man. You saw the struggle when he came in, slapped Kurt Angle, ruthless aggression, and you saw him, wander and, flip-flop in the mid-card. Nobody gave a damn about John Cena. But when he started busting rhymes and yo, word life, basic thugonomic style, kid, can't see me. Okay, some of y'all don't remember that John Cena. But when John was doing that, people were with him. And then he said the C-Nation, and then we were right there with him when he was going to take down the snobbish, the smart ass, the rich, throw it in your face guy, JBL, who at the time, like I said, longest reigning champion in SmackDown history. I think he had like an 8-month title reign. Nobody to that point had been champion that long on SmackDown before. And he kept winning and kept winning and kept winning, and he just kept getting booed. But that's how it just, you feel me? And we wanted John to beat him. And at WrestleMania 21, he did it. He beat him. We was right there with him. C-Nation, Chain Gang, homie, the spinner title, all of that. We was feeling John. He got his new theme music, My Time Is Now. Everybody was rocking with John. He had a rap album that went platinum? What? John Cena was hot as anybody has ever been in the WWE. But then something happened. Something happened to John. And this something isn't necessarily something that's quote unquote bad. It's just something many of us can't relate to. John kept winning. And he kept winning. And he kept winning. He lost the edge, but then he won it back. And then he kept winning, and he kept on winning. And the more he won, the more he stopped identifying with the 90 to 95%. And he began to identify with the small 3 to 5%, the 5 to 10% of the people who know what it feels like to achieve goals on a regular basis. And so you begin to hear a dichotomy in arenas. They started singing and telling him how they feel about it, a la Kurt Angle during his theme song, John Cena Sucks. And then when he got the 1, 2, 3, you didn't hear the cheers, you heard the boos, because they got tired of seeing this guy winning. Why? We ain't winning. Why should he win? if you gonna win, if you gonna represent us, you got to lose sometimes. Because we lose a lot of the time. Struggling with bills, trying to figure out where our next bill gonna come from, how we gonna get the new Jordans and pay the light bill at the same time. That ain't a problem you got. You always win it. We don't want nothing to do with you, bro. So John Cena, to no fault of his own, just got hated on because he was a winner. That's why. And you seeing the same thing happen with Cody Rhodes. You see, shout out to Ross from In the Clutch. He makes a compelling argument about Cody not having adequate heels. And I agree with him. When you think about SmackDown, you only really think of one main heel. And when I say heel, I'm not talking about people who get booed. I'm talking about a legit heel. A heel is somebody who has heat. I'm talking about legit heat. And the only real heel, no rhyme intended on that line, that I can think of on SmackDown is Solo. The brother has so much heat, he made Paul Heyman a sympathetic figure. Think about that for a second. Paul Heyman ain't been cheered. Damn it, I don't know, since he was with what? Since his ECW days? Like, Paul Heyman don't get cheered. He's not the guy you cheer for. He's a proud New Yorker and he will throw it in your face every chance he gets. And he don't apologize for it too. He said some of the most off-the-wall things. He don't get cheered for. But Solo is so hated, they cheered for Paul Heyman. And so much so, Solo made us want the guy who got FU Roman chants after he beat down Sami Zayn. That's how much heat Solo has. But outside of Solo on SmackDown, who really has heat? Santos Escobar had a little bit of heat when he turned on Rey Mysterio, but that's kind of died down now. A-Town Down Under, don't nobody give a damn about those two Rudy Poos. Who else on SmackDown? The Final Testament? Or they on Raw now? I think they on Raw. That's the thing. There's no real heels on SmackDown. So what the hell is Cody supposed to do? So I do agree with Ross on that. Where I disagree, though, is that even if they had adequate heels, yeah, it might make the storyline a lot more interesting, but eventually fans will turn on him because he's going to keep winning. Sure, he may beat better names, he may have better stories, but ultimately at the end of the day, he's going to keep winning, and fans are going to start resenting him for that. Because fans, most of us can't identify with winners. We identify with strugglers. Look at Bayley. Look at Bayley. When Bayley was looking like she was about to turn on Damage Control, and then she won the World Rumble, they wanted her to win the title at Mania, and then she won the title at Mania, and then boom, died down. Why? Because there's nothing more we can relate to about Bayley. She achieved the goal. All right. Now what? There's nothing we can relate to when it comes to her and her title run. Now that she lost to Nia, maybe we'll see a resurgence of Bayley. Same thing happened with Becky Lynch. Becky kept winning. People start resenting her. See, the same thing was happening to Bianca Belair. Top babyface in the company. Swing in that ponytail. The little girls was loving Bianca. They still do. She didn't hear the same roar that you normally would hear from her when she came out because that title reign just kept going and going. She kept winning and winning and winning, and people couldn't identify with that. It happened, hell, to Hulk Hogan. Before, this was all the way back in the mid-'80s. When they had Saturday Night Main Event. Hulk Hogan had a 4-year title reign. And people were just cheering it. Why? Because it wasn't weekly or episodic like it is now. Monday Night Raw. I think you had Saturday Night Main Event, once a month, twice a month, something like that, back in the day. But now it came on weekly, and you kept seeing Hogan, the red, yellow, eat your vitamins, say your prayers. People got, tired of that. We want something different. And then Hogan You started hearing people feel some type of way while he was in WWE. Then he left, went down to WCW. Yeah, welcome back, Hulk. And the same thing, the red and yellow, he kept on winning, and they started booing him. And then what happened? Heel turn. One of the greatest heel turns in professional wrestling history. Hulk Hogan becomes Hollywood Hogan. The NWO changed the landscape of wrestling. What happened with another? Y'all remember back in the mid-90s, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. The boyhood dream to become WWF champion. Guess what? He did it. He beat Bret Hart in the 1 hour Iron Man match. Or as Earl Hebner would say, his Iron Man match. All right, shout out to Earl Hebner. And for the first few months of that title reign, Shawn Michaels was hot. Cheers everywhere. Bret Hart was on sabbatical. Shawn Michaels was the head of the company, carrying the company on his shoulders. Everybody was loving Shawn Michaels. But as his title reign kept going and going, you started to hear some boos. And when they got the Survivor Series against Psycho Sid, the ruler of the world, that Madison Square Garden crowd, if you remember that, go back and check the videotape for yourself. They started booing Shawn Michaels and started cheering Psycho Sid. They were happy to finally see Shawn Michaels lose. Now the question becomes, who is the next legitimate challenger for Cody Rhodes? Well, let's hear one other video, shall we?
But every match that he's had has been a match in which I have deep respect for my opponent and may the better man win. AJ Styles. Yes, AJ turned heel. Ultimately, this was a clash between two who respected each other, and well, Cody had to prove that he was the best. Oh, Logan, you're better than anybody would have given you credit for. You've done phenomenally. You've done fantastically. But, well, I'm going to prove to you that you're just not that guy yet, or prove to myself that I am. And by golly, I'm going to beat Logan Paul. He goes, Carmelo, I see a lot in you, and you're going to be great, but I don't think tonight's your night, and I'm going to go ahead and prove it in that ring. And seemingly, as soon as the Bloodline story is over, Cody's back to saying, well, gee, Kevin, I respect you, and I think you're the best. I've got to prove to myself that I'm the best, and therefore, I'd like to defend my title against you. And every match has been, well, I respect you, and I think you respect me, but let's see who the better man is on that night. I personally cannot believe that we're going to do another Cody match where there's no real story.
Well, in response to that, J-Rocc says this. It goes back to what J-Rocc said earlier. Who is the reputable opponent that Cody's going to face? Who on the SmackDown roster is a legit threat that we can legitimately believe will beat Cody Rhodes? I'm going to say something here, and it may seem like the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard, but the WWE had a heel who had some real heat, and they let him go. You know who that was? Y'all ready for this one? You ready for this one? Y'all remember this guy? Jinder Mahal. Yeah, I know. Jinder Mahal sound like the most ridiculous thing. And eventually, Jinder was going to start to get cheered a la Rusev. Because, you know, both of them came in as foreigners, spoke a different language, anti-America. My country is the best. This country is a cesspool. But for whatever reason, when Rusev hooked up with, what's that? The singing guy?
That is correct. It does not matter what his name is.
When Rusev hooked up with him, all of a sudden, it started becoming Rusev Day. So it was only a matter of time before Jinder was starting to get cheered. Okay? See, that's just wrestling fans. They're fickle like that. Up one day, down the next. Like you one minute, hate you the next. You just roll with it. All right? The best performers are the people who know how to roll with it. All right? Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Austin, Shawn, they know how to just roll with it. Ric Flair, and the list goes on. They know how to roll with it. All right? But the fact of the matter is, there's no legit threat on SmackDown for Cody. He's the top guy. He's a victim of his own stardom, if you will. He's too hot right now. And so there's only really one guy that it would make sense for him to lose to. And that's Solo. Solo has the most heat. It would make the most sense. Clearly, it'd be a bloodline issue. Clearly, the bloodline would get involved and put the title on Solo. And I get so sick of the idea where, damn it, Cody has to keep the title until Rock comes back. No, he don't. He don't got to keep the title until then. Cody can lose the title and right before The Rock comes back, win it again. And then The Rock shows back up, says, all right, brother, it's time to finish what we started. You don't have to have the title on the whole time. That can make title runs stale for babyfaces. And so, right now, WWE has a dilemma. They don't have any legitimate heels on SmackDown. But if you think about it, they don't really have hardly any legitimate heels on either brand. Who you got? Solo. You got the Judgment Day. Dominique, of course. I don't want to say Gunther or Drew. Drew is more rogue than heel because he still gets cheers. He still gets boos. But, I mean, if you want to call him a heel, I guess. Gunther, people cheer him too because they respect his work. They respect his passion for the business. He's old school. He's traditional. All right. In the modern era, his promos are great. So people don't really boo him. He's always the antagonist because he's the bad guy in the story. But he's so damn good at what he does, it's hard to boo him. They don't really have any, but I mean, if you want to sell him as a heel, obviously you can. It's easier. I don't know. I don't know other than Solo, unless somebody is gonna, now they're gonna try to make, you can see it coming a mile away. They're gonna try to make Randy a heel. No, don't do it. Do not make Randy Orton a heel. That part of his career is over. All right. When Edge came back after being gone for 10 years, they tried to make him a heel and it didn't fit. It didn't fit. We were like, what? A heel? A heel for what, brother? You've been gone 10 years. Let us love on you a little bit. This is the part of your career where we're just going to appreciate everything you've done up until this point. We ain't trying to boo you, dude. And I think they saw that. And so that's why they got Edge out of Judgment Day. And they did a good job of doing it. But other than that, I don't see any heels right now that can legitimately challenge Cody. Unless you're going to bring somebody from Raw to SmackDown, and it has to be a legitimate threat. Legitimate. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but go get Jinder. Let Jinder Mahal be the one who beats Cody. I mean, look, Jinder has heat, but here's the thing. At this point of Jinder's career, let's be real. If he was the one that really beat Cody, he'd probably get cheered more than he got booed. I mean, because, yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. They bring him back. I don't know what happened to the guys, the jabronis that Jinder was managing. The two guys. They were on NXT, then they came to Raw. Guy always doing this, you know. The Indian dudes, y'all know what I'm talking about. Where'd they go? What happened to them? They get fired too? The WWE is hot, but they got a heel problem. They have to do a better job of creating heels who have heat, not just people you want to boo. The story has to make sense. Why the Bloodline story has been going on for so long? Because it's something we all understand. Family. We all fight with our family. We all have issues with our family. And there's always one person that try to think that they better than everybody in the family. And so we get it, but still, I don't know. Y'all tell me. I'm legitimately saying go get Jinder Mahal. Bring his ass back. Let him be the one to feud with Cody. Hell, he beat Randy that one time. Nobody saw that coming. You can't bring Brock back and have him beat Cody because Brock's part-time. Well, he's no time right now. He ain't been on TV since what, last year? So I don't know who other than Solo on SmackDown is a legitimate threat. You can't do AJ Styles. He's about to retire unless they want to give him one last run, I guess. But what's the story behind that? Like, there's no story right now that is jumping out at the great one that says Cody should lose. And because Cody doesn't have a legit opponent, I'm going to say this before I go. I think Kevin Owens is going to follow in the same or similar footsteps as Drew McIntyre. Because Roman is back. He's the tribal chief. And Cody is going to want to try to help Roman in some way, shape, form, or capacity. And KO going to be like, man, I ain't helping this dude. Just like Drew didn't want to help Jay. I ain't helping Jay. This family been screwing me over, beating me up for years, and now all of a sudden you want me to help them just because they got problems? Man, hell no. It was a similar thing that you saw between Bianca and Bayley. I hope they get back to that because that's really going to be the catalyst for turning Bianca heel because she needs a good heel run. You got Jade. It's only a matter of time before they start feuding with one another. It's coming. You know it's coming. They got Xavier Woods. He about to turn heel soon. So I don't know. I don't know who they bring in. Y'all let me know in the comments. Who do you think is a legit, viable threat to Cody Rhodes' title reign? Tell me who, because I don't know. Outside of Solo, I don't know. No rhyme intended on that line. You feel me? I don't know who is going to be the one that defeats Cody. I don't know. We have to wait and see. Post your comments down below. Let J-Rocc know what your reaction to this video. No rhyme intended on that line. If you enjoyed J-Rocc's reaction, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Make sure you hit that bell so you can be notified when it is time to electrify. Thank you for joining J-Rocc. Stay tuned. Next video. Mamba, GG, and Wakanda forever. It is what J-Rocc is cooking.